Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Deputy Prime Minister of the government team. Today's motion is that UN should intervene in Syria, and our team strongly propose to the motion. First, I will refute to their arguments. Their first argument was about that people will not listen to UN because they just did it by force. But as our Prime Minister has said, it will increase the economics of how it will. If UN intervenes, then Syria can export oil, minerals, and other natural resources that many countries are currently in need of, because we will be in loss of fossil fuel and other natural resources, and Syria exporting natural resources can help a lot. And also, the Syrian civil war is influencing a lot on Iraq, as I will talk in our third argument. And I think that this is more important. And second, they said that the war will spill over if UN intervenes, but you cannot be sure. And also, currently, the war is spilled over without UN intervening, but to Iraq. And to our first argument, they said that it will be spilled over if UN intervenes, but it is, as I said, it is already spilled over, and it is UN's duty, because the UN's purpose is to have peace and respect human rights, and Syrian civil war is violating these purposes of UN. And to our second argument, they did not refute to their refute. So I will move on, and I will talk more about our first argument, purpose of UN. The purpose of UN is to have peace and respect human rights. Over 100,000 people have died, and 6 million people are displaced from war. According to BBC News, CIA believes that Syria is using chemical weapons on their own people, and victims are found with key symptoms of the chemical weapon that Syria admitted they own. And Syria admitted of owning the chemical weapons, but they said that they will never use it on their own people. But how can we believe them when people in Syria are found with these key symptoms? Why is it an issue that they are using chemical weapons? The chemical weapons are considered very unethical, and the Syrian government is using it against their own people, which is more unethical. And also, tens of thousands of people, protesters, have been imprisoned, and reports of torture and terror. There are reports of torture and terror in state prison. International organizations have accused government and opposition forces of severe human rights violations. Also, the UN investigations concluded that government's abuses are greatest in gravity, frequency, and scale. As I said, UN's purpose is to have peace and respect human rights, and the things that Syrian people are doing are violating these. So it is a duty for UN to intervene and stop the war. Our third argument is about notorious effects on Iraq. Iraqi officials have expressed an alarm that the fighting between the government and the opposition forces have been reaching to the borders and having influence on their country. Also, after staying on sidelines for more than a year, Sunni tribes in Iraq that straddle the frontier have decisively joined the effort on topple the all-right-led government in Damascus. Many officials fear that this war will growing is going to move on Iraq. So for these reasons, we believe that UN should intervene to civil war of Syria. Thank you.